social media play a role on our self-image?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can go. Yeah, like Deepak said, yeah, it plays much bigger role because the number of people we personally know may have not changed that much, like compared to say 100 years ago. Like let's say 100 years ago, you knew about 30 people on a very personal level, 40 people, 50 people. So that 50 maybe it's gone down, like the number of close relationships we have with people, like the way we connect with people's lives. So that number may have stayed the same, like how much we know, but the number of people that we view as strangers, like Deepak said, has increased. So that's what social media drives, in terms of knowing the curated versions, like to use that expression of people's lives. So I think that plays a very negative. I wouldn't say negative. That plays a role where people with say people who are trying to understand and grow, once they are put into that platform, once they are put into that environment, it may be difficult for them to grow out of it. It may be difficult for them to say, I have my achievements, I've gone through these things, and so it makes them harder to judge themselves in an objective manner. So it becomes a clouded sort of judgment. So that's what I think. So what do you guys think? Yeah.
That's very interesting. I'll go to Sia first, and then we'll go to Deepak.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent point about how we only see curated versions. Going off of that, we also don't have space for nuance on social media. So there's a lot of well-meaning people putting out advice or sharing things about themselves, even if it is, to a certain extent, not curated. But there isn't a lot of nuance, and we're living in somewhat of a post-truth world where if you see something on an infographic, you're inclined to believe that, oh yeah, someone's put work into this. You might not have the time to like verify everything that's being put out there, especially about how people relate to other people or what they think about the world. And then when that doesn't work for you, some kind of advice doesn't work for you because it doesn't have enough space for nuance. It's not a hour-long YouTube video. Then I think it affects your self-esteem, where you think, oh, this advice seems to be working for people. It's not working with me. I must be uniquely awful. So it's not only through comparison, but it's also through consuming a lot of content that is not necessarily addressing your intersectionality or, where you are. It's one person just taking, a gander at a very specific part of human existence, and then it's supposed to somehow work for you. And it doesn't always. So I've definitely fallen into that trap where some self-care advice hasn't worked for me, or, some way of like setting up boundaries hasn't worked for me. And I've thought that, oh, wow, so yeah, there's something wrong with you. So yeah, what do people think about that?
I hear what you're saying, and it makes sense. So there's definitely the question of, do we have nuanced debates on social media, especially when it comes to controversial topics? And the answer is absolutely not. The format and the way these algorithms work is that they want to push more emotive content to larger audiences because that keeps people on their websites for longer. And 70% of what you see on YouTube is because of the recommendations tab, and they recommend whatever is most likely to go viral, and that is proven to be emotions like outrage, right? So it is true that social media is making us more angry and question ourselves more, but at the same time, I think there's a brighter side to it as well, because these days people find a lot of support networks on social media. And if you have, like, for example, a marginalized community, you're a gay person, for example, you might find other people who also have the same worldview as you and have gone through the same experiences as you. And so in an earlier era, that might not have been as easy or as possible. So it's a question of, how do we manage social media? How does it need to be regulated so that people can still get the good side of it while reducing some of the drawbacks of it? But I think it's not been a universally bad thing for people's self-image or for their mental health. It's also helped people find connections. It's helped people build relationships, even businesses online. So yeah, there's two sides to it.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you'd like to see more videos on the topic, make sure to check out our playlist where we answer more questions. We'll see you next time.